At one point in time, Brendan Schaub had appeared to make one of the most effective athlete to entertainment transitions in recent times. After leaving the UFC behind, his podcast was big enough to be bankrolled by Fox Sports, pulling in major guests and allowing him to rub shoulders with the likes of Conor McGregor. Then, he had his own shows, embedding him deeper into both MMA media and the content landscape in general. And soon, he'd follow the lead of his close friends like Joe Rogan, Brian Callen, and Chris D'Elia by embarking on a career in comedy, touring over the world with his own brand of humor. Basically, it was all moving in the right direction for Brendan once he made the bold decision to embark on a new path. But somewhere along the line, the wheels well and truly fell off. Because after those early days of triumph, Brendan has basically been a figure of mockery for a long time now, being viewed as not only idiotic, but incredibly conceited to boot.
I hate everything I do.
You think Wilson Schaub came up? He's been waiting for this moment his entire life. Go time, babe.
Yeah, you should. Yeah, you should hate everything.
Special.
Everyone should hate
I hate the set
everything.
I'm gonna do tonight.
Down here in Denver. I'm in Boston next week, next Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Boston, Lab Boston.
I don't like any. I hate hearing myself. I hate.
She marrying you for your merch money? Think about it. That new
I hate everything I do.
that official bride count merch. I mean, dude.
On your fucking wedding day.
Dave's wedding.
There's not one thing that you're like, yeah, I'm stoked about that.
Just my son.
And over time, what began as criticism of a public figure became real animosity towards everything he did.
Have you seen this documentary, The Most Hated Man on the Internet?
No.
Did you hear?
Who is the most hated man on the internet?
His name is Hunter Moore. I don't
Brendan
know.
Schaub just went like this.
I remember this guy.
Damn it. There wasn't. I literally.
Ooh, that was close.
As the fallout continues, Brandon continues to try and recapture what he once had, all the while struggling when hit with home truths about where he's at in his career right now.
You're where you are because of you. You did this. Don't blame that. Don't then turn and look at successful people and go, oh, those guys are assholes. Like, what are you doing, man? No, I didn't have anything to do with your not being a superstar. You did. So why are you turning to people that have been a little bit more successful and criticizing them? And it's exactly right. It's like, when was the last time you took responsibility for where you're at, man?
Following years of near misses, it has all culminated in the podcaster's future looking very, very uncertain, with debts and dumb decisions piling up to the point that it looks like there might be no way back. It's your boy Luesta, live from Lu Extras, and this is why Brendan Schaub has hit rock bottom. For a long time, Brendan Schaub seemed to have difficulty finding his calling. After aspiring to a career in football his entire life, he realized in college that it wasn't what he was born to do. Shortly after, he embarked on a journey into martial arts, finding himself invested to the world of jiu-jitsu, to the point that a career as an MMA fighter became his new purpose. After winning just 4 fights, Brendan quickly found himself appearing on The Ultimate Fighter, competing alongside UFC legends like Big Country Roy Nelson to obtain a contract. In the end, he wound up being the runner-up, eating a hellacious right hook which knocked him out. This didn't prevent him from getting a UFC contract anyway, with his biggest achievement in the cage came when he managed to defeat the legendary Mirko Cro Cop, but generally, he toiled in the heavyweight rankings. This reached a stage that within a few years of that Cro Cop win, Joe Rogan would be famously telling him that he should be considering hanging up the gloves after an emphatic beating from Travis Brown, a man who just so happened to have a kid with his ex-girlfriend Ronda Rousey.
10. Hit it's all over. Wow. Travis Brown finishes Brendan Schaub.
It's not that you don't try hard. It's not that you're not dedicated. It's not that you're not disciplined. It's not that you're not intelligent. There's shit that other people can do that you can't do. If you had a wrestling match with Cain Velasquez, how well do you think you'd do?
Straight up wrestling?
Yeah.
I think people would be surprised.
Really? You think so?
Mm-hmm.
I think you'd be surprised. I really do. I think he'd fuck you up. There's a certain amount, there's a bridge between you and the very best guys in the world. And I don't know if you can cross that bridge. Mm-hmm. That's the reality of life.
And despite how heartbroken he was at the time, Joe seemed to have every faith that things would work out for him. And the reason is because he already had another path he could venture down. That outlet was The Fighter and the Kid, his podcast with comedian Brian Callen, which was regularly pulling in 500,000 to 1 million views per episode in its heyday. With that, Brendan's career had a second wind, with Schaub getting embedded into the Joe Rogan Experience crew to the point that he's one of the most recurring guests. But this accolade is also where the wheels fell off a little, especially because he earned a reputation as a yes man for Rogan.
To fucking kill the shit out of people.
Oh, ton.
A chip on your shoulder and a thick skin.
The biggest chip on your shoulder.
And you also see the drawbacks.
You see a huge drop.
It is tough to deal with, but if
it's the toughest to deal with.
Got a dicey past in terms of the law.
Some would say the diciest.
A rough reason for why.
The roughest. Oh, who knows?
It's fun.
It's the funnest.
Yeah, it is fun.
It's the best.
You feel like this is a dirty business. Like, I don't want to be a part of your dirty business.
It's the dirtiest business.
Plus, there were many fans who gradually began to see a side of him that they didn't like. Where he was once humble and eager for every opportunity, his success helped him reach a new stage where he can't take criticism, or even accept being made fun of, even if he dishes it out to everyone else.
Oh no, she's dating a girl now. She's dating Miley Cyrus's daughter.
She used to date Bella Thorne.
And ultimately, these are just two factors as why he went from a man people wanted to support to a top 1% of subreddits that's basically dedicated to chronicling his failings. As slowly but surely, he destroyed any goodwill that he had with bad decisions, weird behavior, and a whole lot of needless deception.
It's almost like fighting. I actually believe if you're in a bar and a guy makes you mad enough to fight and try to really hurt him and knock him out, in a way, the times I've been in fights, I wanted to kill the guy.
Can you relate to this, Chin, or am I the only normal person in the room? Any fight I've ever been in, I've been in way more fights than you.
You're talking about street fights, right?
Yeah, I'm talking about
I've been street fights. I've been more street fights.
I don't think
than
you've
you,
been in more than I've been. I don't. I've been in.
Bro,
I've been
you
in
grew
a
up
lot.
rich. What are you talking?
Hold on. Don't tell me that because you don't know what the fuck you're talking about.
You've been more fights than me.
I've been in as many fights as you've been in.
Oh my god!
In the street, I know you, dude. You don't fight.
Were you in a lot of street fights in your life?
No, zero. I got in one ever in college, and then that's about it. My brother was always the one getting fights and beating me up.
Over the course of The Fighter and the Kid's early success, Brendan began to get himself a reputation as someone who wasn't afraid to be played loose with the truth. In fact, when a Redditor and another sub asked why he was so despised, it was one of the main reasons cited as to why it all began to go south. I accidentally joined his subreddit years ago. I knew that he was a UFC fighter, and that's it. Slowly but surely, that sub won me over because it's hilarious. Everyone has a friend who lies about big, weird, unnecessary stuff. Now, imagine all of that friend's weird, stupid lies are recorded, and on that sub, sometimes in a 5-minute compilation, along with the evidence of him being an absolute dickhead. I've come to the conclusion he deserves the hate. He also lies a lot, like a weird amount about the stupidest things. He's got so many stories where famous people just stop to tell him how funny they think he is and how they're big fans. It's just weird. I don't hate him personally, I'm just fascinated by him. But any criticism that people had of Brendan was really compounded by his ill-fated stand-up career. Due to being friends with so many established vets of comedy, Brendan basically ran before he could walk, booking big shows and tours without even having a year of doing it under his belt.
You were also offered a lot of money, like really early. So like you were offered a lot of money by Showtime, and it was like, and I was like, I remember going, no, you can't do this. But you were like, but it's a lot of money. I got to do something.
Yeah, it was a weird time, but I also get it. It's like there's comics 10, 15 years in who don't get to that level, and I'm 2 years in, and it's popping. I'm selling out every weekend, you know.
Yeah.
It's like, what are you gonna do though?
Are you kidding me?
Yeah, but
it was
he
wild.
was so already kind of famous. Like,
yeah.
UFC, the podcast was number 4 in the world, maybe number 2 at one point.
And because he skipped those pivotal early years of paying his dues, the material left a little something to be desired. And in some cases, he would commit the cardinal sin of comedy, stealing jokes.
You know what my favorite food is? Fajitas. I love fajitas. Do you like fajitas? You ever get those? Yeah, you do, right? They're good. Because it's more than a meal. It's very exciting. When you order a fajita, you order them, and then a couple minutes later, they bring them out, and it is loud. Smoke. It's like 4th of July. Everyone's like, oh my God. What is that? What the fuck is that?
I want that same feeling. I go to Chili's and order fajitas. You know what I'm talking about. You order those fajitas, it's fucking popping. Those fajitas hit the floor, it's all. You're like, what the fuck? Come on. Right here, bitch.
From there on out, Brendan relentlessly hit the circuit, delivering set after set of jokes, which didn't necessarily land. It even reached the point where he was openly dissed by other stand-ups in a way that you didn't often see.
And that's a 2.5 hour drive. So that's like really, really easy. No airports.
You mean the Arlington where Gringo Poppy was filmed?
Wait, is that where that was filmed?
Is it?
The Dallas Improv, Arlington?
I think so, yeah.
That's where Gringo Poppy was filmed.
Oh, no.
Dude, tough act to follow.
Pressure's on.
Oh man, how do you know that? How do you know that was filmed there?
I was fascinated by the entire I even know where the construction paper came from.
Oh my God.
Myrna Schaub and I do a new podcast, The King and the Sting, right?
Schaub?
Yeah.
I thought it was Sharb. Now he's got mental disabilities.
Oh yeah, he got beat up. Somebody.
I think he's full of or at least like boredom. I thought he tested. If I'm not mistaken, I saw a test where he tested like just under. He has trouble if the door says push and it's pull. He can't figure that out.
Oh, we'll stay in there. I saw him pressing the wall one time, saying it's not ringing. It's not a doorbell.
Yeah, and you just gotta have compassion and just like have patience with him.
Yeah.
Number 3, do you respect Brendan Schaub as a comedian?
Can I trade this question for 2 more questions?
No, you cannot.
You said yes, and the lie detector test determined that was a lie.
Meanwhile, his mounting ego didn't help, particularly when it was routinely padded by his team.
I was scrolling through Instagram, and there's this guy working out. He's doing something, and the voiceover says, "People aren't proud of you. They're just surprised you keep making shit happen." You ever think about that? And I thought to myself, no, I'm not surprised you keep making shit happen. I'm just proud of you. That's a big difference. I'm proud of you because this has been a motherfucker. And I think in the darkest 2 years that we've met, for us anyway, that we've met, since we've met, you kept kicking the sandbag down the road. And here we are. You did this special.
And in the end, the result was that both of his comedy specials are widely regarded to be among the worst of all time, scoring historically bad scores on IMDb and essentially becoming a meme.
Showtime! World star! The fucking fiesta! Cabron, look, cabron. Puto! Puto? Talk shit to me in Spanish? I struggle with English at times. What? Fajitas every Wednesday? Fuck yeah! Huevos rancheros. Carne asada. Pico de gallo. Red chili, bean cheese. I need a fucking tater tot once a week. Maybe Brendan's not trying to shit his pants tonight. How about that?
By surrounding himself with comedians like Callan and his other co-hosts on shows like The King and the Sting, such as Theo Vaughn and Chris D'Elia, Brendan appeared to side himself into believing that he was a comedian of their level. But it turned out that nothing could be further from the case, with Brendan basically becoming a punchline in the scene. However, it's fair to say that it wasn't just bad jokes that earned him this reputation and paved the way for the ruinous state that he's in now. His sleaziness certainly didn't help matters either. As a husband and father of 2, Brendan Schaub will always tell you that his family comes first. Later down the line, it'll even be his reasoning for abandoning comedy. But it's fair to say that the reality of the situation is that he's not exactly a supportive partner. In fact, he won't even learn a language that his wife and kids speak purely because he doesn't want to.
Who the fuck is Marshall?
Who's Marshall? Don't just say that. I don't know that fucking
Last
guy.
night I popped off because Joanna's aunt's staying with us.
Yeah.
Her English isn't great, but it's not terrible.
How's your Spanish?
Awful. I speak no Spanish. But we're all the kids are at the.
How long you been together and you don't speak Spanish?
Forever. Dude,
You'll never.
You just gave.
No, what am I going to pick it up in my mid-30s?
Well, yeah, but
no, but no. I'm in America. I speak English, right? So we're around the dinner table, and they're talking, dude, for an hour. The entire conversation in Spanish. I'm just staring out the wall, and finally I go, well, fuck me. Well, I'm just going to sit here and stare at the fucking wall while you guys have a great dinner. Dude.
Yeah,
it just Spanish. I'm like, after 45 minutes, I went, I feel it's disrespectful.
A little bit, right?
A little bit.
You're just
I have no clue what they're talking
completely
about.
left out.
Nothing. So I'm like, I should go eat in another room.
No, what I'm gonna do? No. You're gonna. Go,
Are we enjoying the food I bought?
You're gonna go figure out a way to pay for your house.
Yeah.
And all the bills.
And y'all can't speak
all the food.
only language I speak? Is that not crazy?
But while this may be seen as being a bad partner by most people, it is fair to say that it might really be impossible for him to learn a second language when he has a pretty poor grasp on English.
You also believe in the land mooning.
The what?
The land mooning.
The land mooning?
The mooning.
Moon landing?
The landing on the moon. Jesus.
That said, it's not just his unwillingness to learn his wife's customs and culture that's the problem. Because if the rumors are to be believed, he spent much of his time in clubs trying to cheat on his girl with fellow comedians. During an episode of the Trash Tuesday show, Brendan was famously exposed by Kalila Kuhn and Annie Letterman.
When guys do that, it makes me so like, you just think I'm that bitch?
Yeah.
I had a guy that was like, why don't you walk me to my truck, this married guy, where I'm like, and we know him, I'm not gonna say who it is, but he's like,
know him.
why don't you give me a walk, why don't you you should walk me to my truck. I'm like, so what, I can blow you? Like what?
Wait,
like,
who was it? Oh.
But it's just like, it's like, why would I?
Wait, I love that we have the same people that
Yes, the same ones come
want us to walk for you. Oh, he came for me so hard, and we know his chick.
And like the thing that I think is like at least a little
Esther,
bit
look at
better.
your
The fact, Esther, he's coming for you. Don't worry.
It's just crazy.
Now that you washed your hair, maybe.
Esther,
Maybe now that you washed your hair.
On New Year's Eve, while he was having dinner with his family, he was like, "What are you doing tonight?"
This year?
Maybe 3 years ago. He was like, "What are you doing tonight?" I was like, left him on red.
But
was
he
like, well,
knows
I hate that I'm with my in-laws right now. Do you want to go? He
At
did that
least
to
that
me.
is like, he thinks you're gonna be a partner in crime. Like for me, I was like single. I'm like, why would I, like, it's not like we're deviants together. It's like, you think, because I was thinking about like, if we go to your truck, okay, like let's say I was like in, which I was never in at all. Let's say I was in, it's like,
I love this.
So wait, we walk to my car. I finished my spot being very good at comedy. You not being good at comedy.
And while they didn't name names, it seemed abundantly clear who they were talking about, to the point that he came after them. The end result was a showdown on Tiger Belly, the podcast that Kalila hosted with her then boyfriend Bobby Lee. And let's just say it didn't do wonders for either Brendan or Kalila's public image.
If I had a time machine and I could go back, I would have called. The reason we're here is because I didn't handle this well. And I'll say this right now, and I'll get back to that Trash Tuesday stuff. Let's say, and I'm not saying this in any facet, I truly believe neither of you have anything to do with this Reddit group. Maybe someone on your team had, or hold on, I'm just telling you from my perspective.
Like to,
Yeah, and you can too.
Because
you
my
can
team
too.
is here, and
And that's fine.
This is everybody in there.
This is my family.
Yeah.
So if you're coming to me saying you're not responsible, but your team is, you're coming for my family. I've been with these guys for 8 years.
I'm with you, Clyde. I'm with you, and I would love for you guys to explain it. And that is why I'm here. And that is why I'm here.
Okay, but
And that's why I'm here. So,
wait.
Go ahead.
Okay, so let's you have your own timeline in your head of how this went down, and I have my own timeline. And while I want to believe those two things are separate, the timing is very suspicious.
Why does it not make sense? Why does that make sense? It's her perspective, and again, for it to get back to me, it has to get out of control. As far as the Annie stuff goes, that's where I do have to defend myself.
Okay.
I have to, you guys didn't say my name, right? But you
We
alluded to me.
didn't. The line was, "What am I gonna do? Suck your unfunny dick?" And then I came back
As
with,
far as me, but she, again, I didn't see it, but as far as she's saying, I asked her to walk my car or give her a ride.
No, I think that I cannot speak for her.
Yeah,
I can only tell you.
I'm saying.
I can only tell you what was said on that particular podcast.
And again, if that's how she feels, she's valid to feel like that. And I'm telling you, that never happened.
Gradually, things got out of hand to the point that it seemed like he was threatening him, while also suggesting that Bobby was behind all the hate that he got online.
You know what I mean? That I'm some Reddit mastermind. That you have files and proof that you can trace, me from Reddit back to my house, the URL,
IP address.
the IP address, and that I have been for 5 or 6 years have been coyly and mischiefully contributing to threads that were
Not contributing.
what?
Didn't you say it was, well, from what you had said, that we were responsible.
Right? And that, that you were going to expose me to Rogan and all these people, and that I should get a lawyer, and that this is what you had told me. And also, just mind you, it was at a level 10 of rage. It wasn't like a soft-spoken,
very aggressive.
Yeah, it was extreme, threats. And then you called Kalila things I don't even want to mention.
I did not.
I know you didn't.
I would, and I haven't heard what you guys said. I don't talk like that. I would never call Kalila that. That's not in my
Brendan,
verbiage.
you called me that on the phone call we had. On March 3rd, you text Bobby asking if he's handled the quote-unquote Kalila shit yet because you're still getting negative comments. In this text chain, you said, I don't want to have to get nasty with her, but if I have no choice, this is all direct quotes, I can play that game. And this was referring to the months that Bobby and I were in an open relationship, thinking that that was somehow going to directly hurt me.
Yeah, obviously, I mean, it's like, the open relationship, you and I, we were, that's not for the, we even talked about it, it's not for the public consumption.
And while Kalila isn't actually beloved either, lashing out at someone as beloved as Bobby didn't go well, to the point that both Schaub and his comedian comrade, Brian Callen, basically apologized to save face.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know where I would see Bobby. I'd be cool. I have no animosity towards him. I don't care. I think he's hilarious. He's so talented, but I'm sure he feels the same way. It's like my life doesn't get better if me and him are friends. Neither does his. So all good. All good.
Well,
I think he's a great guy.
Yeah, I've always.
We were never that close here. You came up with him at the Comedy Store.
Yeah.
I was never that close with him. I've always appreciated him. He's such a talent. He does great podcasting and stand up.
Look, man,
but it's not like I missed
wrong. I think that putting him in the mix in that mix was wrong, 100% wrong, and I was working on bad information, and I take full responsibility. I don't even blame the information I got. I take full responsibility for that.
As he struggled to convince the world that he wasn't a scourge on comedy, Brendan began lashing out at YouTube channels just like this one, suing a channel known as Kyle Swindles for posting videos intended to expose Schaub.
I mean, can you sue people? Have you tried doing any of that?
No, I mean, we have a lawsuit with a guy who made like 3,000 videos. Again, if you're gonna critique stand up or my fight picks or my football picks, all good. That's what the internet's for. Now, if you're gonna go out there and defamation, like whatever, Brendan hits his kids or beats his wife, well, then you got my attention. I'm gonna come after you.
Oh,
yeah, that game I don't play. But the defamation, now you got my attention. You start doing this evil stuff, I'm gonna come for you, man.
And after maintaining that he had the legal team to triumph, the district judge concluded that Kyle's use was fair.
Brendan spent several $100,000 apparently fighting this guy in court, and he keeps bragging about like, I got these beasts of a lawyer, Justin Bieber's got but it's like, okay, but so you can keep this guy's YouTube channel down because the guy instantaneously made another YouTube channel and has been making videos about Brendan since. So he literally just took, like $250,000 and flushed it down the toilet. And he kept complaining about like, oh, I got another bill for $10,000 to have to file this thing. It just seemed like a giant money pit. And actually that would be really funny if Unique actually won this lawsuit, because Brendan's understanding of it was that this guy's going to have to take down all his channels.
As things continued to go wrong, some internet commentators suggested that there's some kind of hex on Brendan, as once someone leaves his inner circle, they seem to instantly prosper. Meanwhile, Brendan just keeps faltering. After a good run on The King and the Sting, Theo Von left the show.
I'm going to be taking a step back from being on King and the Sting. I just want to thank you guys for just being a part of my life and letting this show be a part of your life. And, grateful to you, Brendan, man. Appreciate it.
Since then, Vaughn has only flourished, with his own This Past Weekend podcast becoming one of the biggest of its kind and getting massive guests across music, comedy, film, and politics.
There was like a 4-year age difference between us. So I never felt those things like, in movies, there's like the brothers are like competing and like angry. And also feels very like Shakespearean.
Yeah, brothers. What about Bill Cosby? Did you ever get to meet him or not? Before he had all the problems?
Is being a rapist one of the problems?
Oh, okay, sorry.
And in typical Schaub fashion, he started sniping at his friend as soon as he garnered the world's love.
There's Theo. This one's gonna be a bonfire. Way to go, Dana. $79.99. God, you're too good to us. Uncle Dana, thank you. God bless you. Merry Christmas. Did you get my card in the mail?
Who's saying that?
Theo. He tries to make every pay-per-view. He tries to make the tweets on every single pay-per-view.
Alongside other comedians like Chappelle Lacey, flourishing after leaving him behind, his former producer Mark Harley is a fascinating case of what can happen when you shed a toxic situation. Known on the subreddit as the BGL or Big Gay Lion, Mark was a struggling actor who eventually went on to become Brendan's handler. And while he once resided directly in his corner, Mark completely turned against him after being unceremoniously fired and began exposing the real Brendan that's supposed to be hidden from the masses.
If you're a comic, Brendan talks about you. Brendan is a narcissistic asshole who lies to people and defames them behind their back. That's not the kind of guy that I feel any sort of loyalty to protect his nature now. You know, you could be Joe Rogan and he does a TED Talk. You know, it's like everything's like he'll find a way to, you know, the mental acrobatics that he does in order to dismiss other people who are more successful than him is astounding.
Over time, this progressed to leaking voice notes and DMs from Schaub, where the unguarded side was on full display.
I've been contemplating whether hitting you back up. You seem really upset.
No, I don't.
Obviously.
I didn't.
Man, if you wanted to hurt me, you got me, brother.
You got me.
Definitely got me.
I'm bleeding out.
I don't understand it. I don't
understand it.
It's weird. I'm not even mad. I'm not even mad. You know, I'm not even mad. I'm not. I don't know why. It's weird. I'm not mad. I'm just hurt, man. I'm sad about it.
It's all about me. I'm not even hurt.
You're a friend, man. You're a really good friend. You don't have a ton of friends.
You said, you know, I don't have a ton of friends.
It is what it is.
Yeah. It is what it is. Why?
I hope you're doing okay.
I hope you're doing okay.
I hope you're doing okay.
Obviously, you're mentally unwell, and that's the reason you're doing this, right?
Even now.
Then he did the unthinkable and actually engaged with the infamous subreddit directly, hosting an AMA where he labeled Brendan a pathological liar and opened up about what the whole experience had taught him about the kind of people worth avoiding in the future. Biggest life lesson: just everything about figuring out a narcissist and not involving yourself or exiting as quickly as possible. If someone has a public track record, look into it. If someone has tens of thousands of people saying they're a piece of shit, engage them with an open mind and let them make their case. The first time we talked, he tried to tell me I was misremembering the macros I wrote down for the diet I made him. I dismissed it as a one-off, but it would set the stage for everything to come. It's always worth pushing back. The first time something happens because narcissists are habitual boundary testers. LOL, Bappa lies about everything. Now, Mark is excelling too, appearing in Super Bowl commercials and music videos alongside A$AP Rocky. Meanwhile, Brendan's failed pursuits just keep racking up. Despite claiming to be so tight with Rogan, he couldn't even get into the podcaster's famed Mothership Club, even after moving to Austin. Soon, he stepped away from comedy, citing a desire to be closer to his family.
Yeah, I had to cancel Austin and Nashville. And usually I hate doing that stuff. It happens. But yeah, I think this time I just don't care. That's where I'm at. I gotta be home more. I'm gonna pull back from touring so much, and I just gotta be home, man. I can't miss Tigers games. Can't miss my Bosty growing up, baby girl. I can't do it anymore. I'm tired, man. I'm tired. You know, I've been hustling for over 12 years now. Not that I'm gonna stop doing the pods, but as far as the plane life and stuff like that, I gotta chill out. I can do spots in LA, I can do local, SoCal, NorCal, but going international or, you know, going across the United States ain't happening right now. So I'm gonna take a break from that and just focus on family and do my thing, man.
But his moves into business hasn't worked any better than his stand-up career. His questionably named whiskey brand, Tiger Thick, still has bottles left over from the first batch, while a potentially fraudulent truck giveaway, which was intended to sell merch for Dry Fast All Gas's YouTube channel, didn't look good for him either.
I mean, his podcast views certainly aren't paying the rent nowadays. And he really hasn't done another truck giveaway ever since people found out that the last truck he gave away was being sold in Palm Beach, Florida, the same city his manager lives in.
The most recent car Brendan gave away is to a pastor by the name of Blake in Texas, and that truck just popped up for sale in West Palm Beach, Florida. And this was all confirmed by the Drive Fast All Gas decal on the back windshield, which is Brendan's car page. But what also set off the internet sleuths is that Brendan's manager, Lex McComan, lives in West Palm Beach.
As for his car-centric platform itself, the channel has laid dormant for over a year, likely to never be resumed. And at this rate, it won't be the only channel that will wind up being abruptly abandoned. As to be frank, Schaub is basically in freefall at the moment. While everything is going wrong for him on a professional level, it now appears that he's trying to live vicariously through his children instead. With his oldest son now playing baseball, Brendan has essentially made this a big part of his personality, but he's not exactly imparting good guidance to his kid.
When they're like 7 or 8, because the girls mature way faster, so an 8-year-old, 9-year-old girl's physically bigger, stronger. When they start trying to bully the boys, I'm like, just fucking hit them, dude. It's just fucking sock them. T was in summer camp. And there was this 12-year-old girl. 12-year-old girl looked like Kevin Durant with tits, man. I was like, bud, you gotta hit her once, dude. And she you just gotta do it once, and then she'll know not to fuck with you. He was so scared though.
I get it. I wish when I was younger, my dad told me stuff like that. If this person's fucking with you and he's not stopping, then you got to stand up for yourself. Hit him.
So I picked Tiger up. I'm like, dude, what's going on? He's like, Dad, there's this 12-year-old boy, and he bullied me and then listed his 2 friends. I go, hold on, stop. He bullied all 3 of you? Yeah. He goes, yeah. I go, at the same time? He goes, yeah. I go,
no. Wait, Brendan.
I told him, I said, now I'm upset.
Yeah.
There's 3 of you.
Right. I knew that's what hilarious.
It was.
That's hilarious.
No one said, let's get this motherfucker. No one. That's you just funny. All stood there and took it while I bullied the 3 of you one by one. Yeah. Somehow, dog.
Alongside basically advocating for his kids to hit women, Brendan's behavior hasn't gone down well with the other dads either. In a post that was unveiled on the Fighter and the Kid subreddit, one exasperated father revealed that Brendan had become a laughingstock among the other parents for his controlling, conceited ways. My son was on the 9U team here in Calabasas with Brendan's son. In no way will I make this a post about the son, but how big of a jack-off the poor kid's dad was in the community. We would have a designated number at each game. That number would be the line on how many times Joe Rogan's name would be dropped by Brendan. He couldn't go an entire name or an event that he would always invite himself and his wife. When we found he was moving to Austin, we joked about how long it would be until a restraining order was filed. When I put the order in for jerseys, he gave me his number preference first before even giving his son's. He looked at me with all sincerity and said, "That's daddy's number." It was so cringy. And if that wasn't bad enough, footage has since emerged of him being literally tossed from a game. Away from the baseball field, things really aren't going any better, as by all accounts, his podcasting career is on its last legs. After he followed everyone down to Austin, Brendan immediately struggled with it.
You going through a tough time? And I was like, I just moved to Austin, man. Yeah, I'm trying to find my way. I'm heartbroken about LA. And he was like, yeah, Texas is great, man. Best decision I ever made. He goes, but you should know it's no LA. Because you're going to miss. There's no replacing LA. And I was like, oh, how long did it take you to get, like, back in your routine and feeling comfortable? It was 3 years. I went, what? He goes, yeah, tough 3 years.
And now it seems like that quest to find his feet isn't picking up any steam. For one thing, he and Callan seem to dislike each other, particularly as Brian gets increasingly disillusioned with how poorly his own career is going after a string of allegations that could be its own video.
We're back, and I want to apologize for leaving again. But it's only 10 days, 11 days, 10 days.
It's 2 weeks of filming. You know what you got to do?
What?
Just show up.
That's right. Like,
hey, and you can't even do that.
Right, but listen, I'm going to get us some great guests. I'm at the Mothership. I'm at Creek in the Cave. We got to get Johnny Depp on.
Yep.
Get Johnny Depp.
Jared Leto.
We got to get Elon Musk on. Got Elon on. Elon's in Austin.
But yeah, so you're missing 2 weeks when we just got her, so that's cool. But she's so much stronger than Brian.
But I mean, Brian, if you could.
Brian could do that.
Brian just like this.
Not a chance.
Yeah. She did hold it up though, so that's pretty impressive.
Yeah. I don't like this podcast. Shit podcast.
But even as their dynamic crumbles, Brendan is still blasting his haters.
Some of the people that edit these videos of, these reaction videos, or, the downfall of Shane Gillis or Andrew Schultz or Brendan Schaub, it's like, buddy, clearly you have editing skills. If you just focus on it, you'd have a career, dude. Like if you did something creative where you weren't, just giving an opinion on somebody else's talent, like, dude, you could fucking do this, man.
And while he insists that he takes this all in his stride, he's clearly anything but unbothered, going as far as suggesting he wants a distribution model where his content is no longer accessible to the general public that's so critical of him.
We're flirting with the idea of doing Patreon, aren't we?
I'd be down for it. We've never really done it. I'd be down for it because we've been around so long. Are we as big as we were 10 years ago? No. But the one thing we have is hardcore fans.
Yeah.
So it'd be for them.
Yes.
That's the reason I would do it.
Yeah.
And you can regulate, so, because a lot of the Reddits and the YouTube, it's super toxic. You can get rid of all that. So you have hardcore fans like, oh, thank God I can finally comment again and not get destroyed.
Yeah.
Or get made fun of.
That's cool.
That's why I would do it.
Along the way, they've only deepened the wider audience's distaste for him, dishing out some truly ridiculous takes on matters like the Epstein files.
But then they also played them. Like Elon Musk and Trump are playing checkers while everybody else playing chess.
What do you mean?
Oh, because remember we thought there was a feud between them. Elon goes, Trump's in the Epstein files.
Yeah.
You need to release him.
Yeah.
And Donald's like, no, I'm not going to release him. Actually, I am. Check it out.
Well, his brother.
They've had these files forever, by the way.
I know.
It's not like they just got them.
Yeah.
Trump, they're aware of it. Elon's aware of it, right? So Elon and Trump are fighting, blah, blah, blah. Release him. You're in the files. And the whole media goes crazy. Everyone's like, yeah, Trump's in the files. That's why he's keeping him. Trump goes, I'll release him. Fuck it. You know what? I didn't want to do it. I'm going to do it. What do we find out? That Trump in 2012 notified authorities and goes, you guys need to look into Epstein and Ghislaine Maxwell. They're fucking devils.
Looking back at their fall from grace, it's clear that both Brendan and Brian know that they've made some mistakes, and yet they maintain that they still want to persevere and make it work.
Martino77 wants to know, what's one thing you would both do differently if you had to start this podcast over again?
Not the Bobby Lee stuff and listen to people. But as far as do things different, I think when Brian was going off through him taking a leave of absence was a bad idea. And me just doing the show with random people, I think that was a bad idea. I think we should have, granted we need the money at the time, I think we should have put our foot down. Now in 2025, you can do that. Everyone's like champion you, right? Like you'll see guys that get accused of bullshit and everyone's like, oh, we don't believe it. But back in 2019, when we were going through it, and I was like, B, what do you want to do? And the only way we would get money was for Brian to take a leave of absence. I think it ruined the show. I think that, along with the Bobby Lee stuff, ruined the show. Now, I do think there's a place for us to come back, whatever that means, but I would do this show for free.
And if he's not careful, he might have to do it for free after all the audience continues to dwindle to nothing. At the moment, the signs of the wear and tear are really beginning to show. With every episode, it becomes increasingly clear that they are in major financial difficulties, with Brendan barely being able to hide the concern on his face when discussing the economy.
Like for the most part, if you're just a regular person, you're a paycheck away from basically being broke, So what's going on there?
Yeah, it's heavy.
So this is more than that. Like this whole Epstein thing is the frustration of people in general going, the powerful are not held to account, and what is going on? What is going on? What is this?
But you got to question everything. It's like, all right, Trump got rid of 50,000 illegals. Well, wouldn't that lower inflation and the home?
I think inflation is lower. I think the news is good. Jobs reports up. So the economy is doing better.
Economy's doing better. But my thing is, wouldn't the housing market be lower too?
I don't know. I think these things, I think that's a question of interest rates, right?
Yeah, all of it.
I don't know. I'm not going to get into interest rates. I'm not going to start talking about that.
I
don't know. I got enough trouble raising kids.
Recently, it was rumored that he's already listed his $3 million home in Austin, while the crew appeared to be downgrading into an even more rundown studio than the storage unit they were already recording in.
Are you getting a new studio?
Brendan said, hey, let's look for a new studio because the lease is up. So I started looking online. I've been complaining. Brian's been complaining. We've all, other than, Brendan's the one, I think Brendan's the one that found the studio, but we all hate it. It's not a studio. It's a piece of shit.
The current one, correct?
Yeah, the current one. Dude, Casey's been there. There's it's not meant for recording audio or filming. So basically it's a huge spot, like way bigger than we would ever need. But that would house how many cars that he wants. But there's no parking issues or anything else. It's just like an older facility but there are like 3 or 4 different rooms in that facility, and it's a fixer-upper. And to me, that's fine because it's a fixer-upper because we're gonna build a set regardless.
But despite what their producer Chin says, there is paperwork to suggest that it wasn't just a conscious decision. Reportedly, he's being sued for abandoning his studio lease in California and probably needs to downsize further to compensate for the impending financial damage. As it all comes crashing down, Brendan is trying to re-enter the comedy circuit with a live podcast, something which he previously said he'd never do.
So when did you first do stand-up?
Would be doing the live Finding the Kids with me and Brian. That was just straight, comedy show.
But that was a stand-up show, not a live podcast?
No, I never agreed with live podcasts. I think it's not the medium for it. It's a bad idea. I've never been to one where I've enjoyed it. Fellas, I know what you want to try. Golden Hour is live in Austin.
Oh yeah, we're doing it.
Yeah.
4 p.m.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
The 4 p.m. The Golden Hour show is scheduled at the Vulcan, positioned as a warm-up act before Chris D'Elia's back-to-back performances. And by the way, the venue normally opens at 7. To no one's surprise, this has meant that he's been extensively laughed at. D'Elia tickets are $30. Tickets to see him with Schaub are $25. Bappa actually diminishes your value. You really can't make this up. He moved all the way to Austin, is supposedly BFFs with Joe Rogan, yet can't even book the mothership. These are your last days, Bappa. Brendan's officially out of the group. After a series of near misses with disaster and public outcries that he's just about managed to scrape his way through, it's really starting to feel like Brendan is finally at the long-awaited rock bottom. Most of the time, this would make people feel a little sorry for someone if they believed that they had anything close to good intentions. But it's noticeable that online, Brendan is being given no empathy whatsoever. In short, it is his fault. He's not a good businessman or a good friend. He's a rode of coattails of his friends' comedic rises and exhausted their kindness. When it came time to do his own thing, it became painfully obvious how bad he was at comedy, and how bad he was at being a decent person. He had some early successes in comedy, but a lot of people can get on stage and perform well once or twice. Just look at Kill Tony. Schaub just isn't funny. His last special was just bad, to put it nicely. I'm sure at the end of the day, he's just like everyone else. Sometimes dope, sometimes a dick. But from a comedy business perspective, not a very good guy to be with. You can see why Theo hopped off the ship. If things continue to keep going the way that they are, there's a good chance that Brendan won't be able to get up after this latest knockout blow in the way that he has in the past. And for someone who's as fixated on what other people think as he is, that's really gotta be tough to even consider. My name is Luesta. I'll see you on the next one. Peace.